hard to remember how it began. Like, what was the first step? And how far back do you go? I got on a plane, and before that a train, and before that I walked. I took the ashes after I found the journal, after I went into Dad's study, after the crematorium curtain shut, which was all after I sat at the kitchen table and stared at a spoon when Mom said that he died. Which was after he died. But even that's not the start, is it? How can that be the start? Because the notebook wouldn't have existed without the history, and the history wouldn't have happened without the geography. And none of it would have happened at all if the skin of the world hadn't cooled and settled the way that it did, and the oceans hadn't flowed the way that they do, and the ice didn't freeze the way that it does. If the earth hadn't stopped exactly this far from the sun, if the sun never formed, then I, Rory, me, here, hello, would never have been sitting watching my mom cry in a helicopter in a snowstorm with my dad's ashes at the North Pole. Jesus, you already look lost. Okay, here goes. Strap in. My name is Rory. Yes, I know that's a boy's name. Yes, that is my real name. Yes, really. Oh, all right, full name, if you really need to know. Aurora. Yes, Aurora. Mortifying. I swear the only people who like weird names are people with names like Bob or Sue or Tim. You like it? Try living with it. I've totally forgiven her, as you can tell. Joking. Nobody calls me Aurora. Call me Rory, and we'll get on fine. And this is Dad. Say hello, Dad. He's shy. Used to be a lot more talkative, didn't you, Dad? Lost a bit of weight too. It's weird the whole person's in there. This is Dad's story, really. He died, obviously. Car accident, walking home from school. He's a teacher at my school. I know, mortifying. And geography teacher, the worst. Sorry, Dad, but it's true. They didn't let me see the body before we got him cremated. I say we, but I didn't have anything to do with it. And actually, if you ask me, I think he'd have hated being inside a shitty urn for eternity, but nobody did ask me, did they? So, here he is. The funeral was fucking awful. The coffin like slides behind these red curtains, and all I could think about was how many other people must have been burnt in there, and how, unless they're really good at sweeping, there's probably little bits of other people still in there with him. And I wondered who they were and what their family thought about when the curtain shut. Mom did a reading, but she was a total state, like crying so much she couldn't even get the words out, which was actually a blessing, because the poem she'd chosen was rubbish. He would have hated it. And all my dad's work friends, which basically meant all my teachers, coming to ours for sandwiches, and relatives I never see saying empty things like, "Oh, wasn't it a lovely service?" And I'm like, actually, my mom cried so much she couldn't string a sentence together, And then they burned my dad in a fire, so lovely isn't really the word for it, Aunt Carol. I didn't say that, obviously. I made the tea. People can't talk to you if you're busy making tea. And if they try, you just say, sugar, like that. And they get distracted. I went to stand in the garden, just breathe a bit. And fucking mom's out there, crying, again, leaving me to talk to everyone by myself. Very irresponsible. I go to leave as soon as I see her, but she's already seen me, so I'm stuck. And, hello, darling, she says. Since when does she call me darling? All right. Do you want a cup of tea? No, thank you. Great! When there was a lull in conversation, Dad used to hold his hands up like this. Awkward pause. I don't say that. It's nice how many people came, she says. Yeah, I say. What are we gonna do with Dad? We brought him back from the crematorium and he was just like on the kitchen table. Mom sort of flinches. He can't stay in the kitchen, can he? Rory, just... Not now, please. Like a bloody pepper mill, Rory. I'll figure something out, she says. Just leave. For now. Her face is red from crying. She's looking at me with this funny look like she's trying to remember my face. And then she looks away and she says, it was a lovely service, wasn't it? And I go all cold inside and I say, no, it was rubbish. And I go inside and up to my room and I don't come down again till morning. And when I come back down, the kitchen is quiet. All the guests have left. Mom's in a room, hiding from me. I feel bad, like I should apologize, make us breakfast or something, but then Dad's on the kitchen table, in his arm, just left there. So I'm gonna have to deal with him, am I?